saw how Chipotle was such a huge success, giving power to the consumers, the customers, to decide what they want to add to the product, whether it was burritos for Chipotle or in this case for Blaze Pizza for pizza. So that's how they modeled it. 2 months after opening their first Blaze Pizza, they opened their second, which later became their flagship store in Pasadena, LA County. The franchising started at the end of 2014, and it's become the first fast casual pizza restaurant to achieve 50 opened units. Today, there's Blaze Pizzas across the United States, Canada, Kuwait, all over the Gulf countries, and they have more than 340 restaurants open across the globe. Some updates: in early November 2019, they announced the promotion of Mandy Shaw to be president and chief executive officer. She's been with Blaze Pizza since 2018 and previously served as their CFO. And Rick Wetzel said that Mandy is stepping into the CEO role with a unique understanding of the brand. Since joining just under 2 years ago, she has demonstrated a blend of entrepreneurial spirit, brand vision, and operational expertise that make her the perfect fit to lead this company. So best of luck for Mandy Shaw and the Blaze operation. I really am a big fan of the product. They make amazing pizza. And now let's get down to business, talk a little bit about the franchise costs, how much it costs to open a Blaze Pizza. So the range varies anywhere from $540,000 to $1.15 million to open up a Blaze Pizza. Based on the 2019 expenditures, taking away the food court locations, the average was about $800,000 to open up a Blaze Pizza if you were to open in 2019. I would imagine that in 2020 or 2021, it could be cheaper to open because you might be looking at more second generation locations, maybe a pizza restaurant that went under and closed during this pandemic. And you might be able to get that cost closer to $500,000 as opposed to $800,000. Later on, I'll tell you why it's important to bring that cost down as much as possible. But first, just want to go through a couple of the key fees, essentially. So initial franchise fee, $30,000, which is pretty standard for the food and beverage industry. And the marketing fee is 2%, and the royalty fee is 5%. When we compare that for the averages for food and beverage, it came in a little low. The average is 5.3% and for royalty, and then the marketing fee is 2.3%. For those that do not know, you pay these fees based on your sales. So if you have $1 million in sales, you'll pay 5% for Blaze Pizza. You're going to be paying $50,000 to Blaze for the royalty, as well as you got to spend 2% on marketing, and generally it's in a marketing fund for most food and beverage franchises. There's all sorts of fees like architect, engineering. They give a range $15,000 to $22,000. Permits. A major thing is leasehold improvements. How much is it going to cost you to fix that space? So approximate spaces are 2,200 square feet to 3,000 square feet to open up a Blaze Pizza. If you're going a non-traditional location, it's going to be smaller. Like a food court could be as small as 1,000 square feet to open. And you're going to be looking at most Blaze Pizzas that are opening up to be in that 2,200 to 3,000 square feet to open. And the investment's going to be anywhere from $233,000 to $547,000 to cover leasehold. And so this could be anything from the construction cost of material, labor, anything that's required to make the space better to sell pizza at the end of the day. So there's all different types of costs that go into improving the space. This does not include the equipment. So the equipment's going to be $165,000 to $185,000, as well as furnitures and fixtures, $21,000 to $102,000 for the furniture and fixtures to open up a Blaze Pizza. Smallware, signage, grand opening kit, these are all relatively small costs. Computer equipment, POS systems, $14,000 to $25,000. I believe Blaze Pizza does have specific software and types of equipment that you need to have as a franchisee. Uniforms, quite small, $1,000 to $4,000. Initial inventory, pre-opening, advertising, all this less than $21,000. Grand opening, you got to give a lot of free pizza. Well, anywhere from $0 to $6,000. Insurance deposit, initial training, liquor license, all minor expenses. And then you have the first month's rent, which is going to vary a lot. And also the security deposit anywhere $5,000 to $24,000. They estimate as per their 2020 FDD. So again, I went through the 2020 franchise disclosure document for Blaze Pizza for you to better understand what the costs are going to be to open up a Blaze Pizza. Additional funds, so generally working capital, $20,000 to $45,000. So this is based on the initial phase of your business, staff salaries, miscellaneous startup costs, operating expenses through the first 3 months of operation. This does not include your salary as the franchisee or owner or drawing away from the business. So the estimate is $540,000 to $1.1 million. In a future live stream that I plan to do next week on Blaze Pizza, I'll be going through their item 19, which is essentially the financial performance. How much money does it make in terms of sales for an average Blaze Pizza? I can tell you the average location does over $1 million. We'll break it down further next week when I review the financials, and then talk a little bit about now you know the costs to open it. We'll go over the costs, the money that you're making or should be making, or historically other Blaze Pizza franchisees have made. And with those two inputs, you should have a rough range on if Blaze Pizza makes sense for you and your investment desires to open up a franchise. So stay tuned. Thanks again for joining. This has been Patrick Findaro, co-founder at Vetted Biz, and I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you liked it, give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot.